All right, mom. So before we jump into today's episode, I just want to let you know about something I created just for you. It is the 7-day meal plan for busy moms. It is a simple and realistic look at how I plan my meals to keep my energy up, stay consistent, and still enjoy family dinners. You can grab it via the link in the description box. Now, most people call the second trimester the sweet spot of pregnancy. Your energy starts coming back, the nausea finally eases up, food sounds good again. Those cravings are, you're finally getting those feel good cravings. And this is the time that you need to be building up your nutrient stores, right? What you do now is what's going to set you up for a stronger third trimester, a smoother birth, and of course, an even faster recovery postpartum. These are the things that you need to be thinking about during that second trimester. So I like to think about supplements when it comes to pregnancy as little helpers. Fish oil for DHA and then your omega-3s. Amazing for your baby's brain. We're always thinking about baby's brain development while they're in the womb. For me in particular, when it comes to fish oils, getting your DHAs and omega-3, something that I love in particular and I have loved with every pregnancy is caviar, in particular salmon roe. I heard about the benefits before I became pregnant with my first, and I was excited to try it because I was like, well, if this is really good for my baby's brain development and it's something that tastes good, of course I'm going to want to take it and eat it throughout my pregnancy. And so for me, it's salmon roe. And of course, like obviously I eat fish and like foods that are high in omega-3s and like have them in my breakfast and stuff like that, like nuts and things like that. But if you're a caviar mommy like me, then be glad because we could have it during pregnancy and it's really good for you. Okay. Do not avoid the caviar or the salmon roe. It's good for you, good for baby's brain. On another note, probiotics, right? You're gonna be wanting to have your probiotics for your gut and immunity. Gentle iron, right? If you're low in energy, and then magnesium for that sleep, like magnesium for the sleep, the muscle cramps that you might be getting, the mood changes and headaches. There's also collagen because we're talking about supplements, right? Collagen, you're going to need that for your skin, your joints, your healing. I drink collagen almost every morning in my coffee. And if I don't put it in my coffee, I know for my first trimester, I couldn't tolerate coffee. I know with my last pregnancy, I couldn't tolerate Celsius, which I shouldn't have been drinking anyways, but I was working the night shifts. I stopped drinking Celsius, I think, at the first month of my pregnancy, and then I ended up switching to coffee and green juice. Like, I would have a green juice before I started my shift, and then I would have, like, coffee closer to the morning. It was just like anyways, I would always have collagen, or I would have tea, like collagen. But yeah, so definitely you want to be thinking about those types of supplements during your pregnancy. My doctor personally recommended to take magnesium, and it's another thing, it's really good for like constipation. I didn't have crazy constipation when pregnant. I know people who do have constipation when pregnant, and magnesium definitely does help with that. You definitely want to be mindful that you're taking the right type of magnesium and that you're not overdoing it because you don't want to have loose stools. But the other thing, yeah, like my doctor personally told me you could definitely start taking magnesium simply because I was just getting a lot of headaches first trimester. And of course, second trimester, you do get some of those muscle cramps and things like that. And like obviously your sleep is going to start to be all over the place. So you want to be sure that you're sleeping well. Get your magnesium. But the whole point of this is not really for perfection, right? We want to make sure that we are supporting our bodies as we're growing life, right? That's the main point. Pregnancy isn't a free-for-all. Culture says that we should give in to every craving, but every bite that you take is shaping your baby's brain, their metabolism, their health for years to come. That's empowering. That's not me trying to be restrictive. That's something that you need to think about. It's something that can motivate you. Did you know that what you eat in your second trimester can actually shape your baby's brain development, your risk of postpartum depression, and even how much energy you're going to have after birth? I always like to say, food first, supplements second. Real foods are what is doing the heavy lifting when it comes to pregnancy, when it comes to living a healthy lifestyle in general, right? You need your collagen smoothies, with fruit and Greek yogurt. You have your nettle tea for minerals, your fermented foods like sauerkraut or kefir, which is one of my favorites to have in the morning. So good for your gut health. It doesn't have to be complicated. You just have to make some simple swaps and constantly be asking yourself when you're trying to prepare a meal, how can I add one more nutrient dense choice today? Like, how can I add one more nutrient dense thing to the meal that I'm having right now to make sure that I'm having a well-rounded meal, but doing the best for my body and, of course, the best for my baby? Prenatal vitamins are not enough. You have to think of them as a baseline. Real food and targeted nutrients are what actually build your body stores for birth and recovery. Remember, we're thinking about birth and recovery. We're not just thinking about the pregnancy and all the good things about pregnancy and all the celebrating and the exciting moments. No, we're also thinking about, okay, how are we going to be recovering afterward? We need to be planning for the future as well as taking great care of our bodies in the present. Now, if you're ready to pair your nutrition with faith-driven workouts, check out the Faith Fuel Fitness Club. It is my newest membership for Christian moms who want simple workouts, biblical encouragement, and a community of moms who actually get it, who are in this same phase of life that you're in. You're going to get access to on-demand workouts, meal inspiration, support for every step of the way in your fitness journey. And you don't have to do it alone, right? We're doing this together. I'm trying to build a community of moms who are following Jesus step by step while juggling being busy moms and are also wanting to prioritize their health so that they can have the energy to do all of these things that the Lord put before us to do. Now, before we go any further, let's talk about skincare as well. Pregnancy can be rough on our skin. Mine has stayed so much clearer and calmer because of the Yalistic MBW Calendula skincare line that I'm always telling people about. It is natural, it's gentle, it's pregnancy safe. And honestly, it keeps my skin fresh, even when I feel completely drained. I was so happy the other day. I actually got a comment that actually threw me off guard because I was like, wow, like I've never had anybody say that to you before. But my doctor actually said, she's like, oh my God, your skin looks so smooth. And I was like, wow, thank you. And it's thanks to Yellistic MBW. That's literally what I told her. I was like, yo, it's my mom's skincare line. Go get your hands on it. And it just keeps my skin feeling fresh and looking good throughout this pregnancy. It is such a gift. Anyways, go get your Yellistic MBW skincare ASAP, okay? So we hear so much about bouncing back after birth, right? But recovery actually starts during pregnancy, right? That's what I'm trying to explain to you guys. So, moms who are moving their bodies and nourishing themselves now don't end up having to rebuild from scratch later, right? We don't want to be starting from scratch after the baby gets here, right? We want our bodies to be already supported because of those nutrient stores, right? During the second trimester or starting from the first trimester, even though the first trimester can be really difficult to get through sometimes for some women. But that second trimester is kind of the time where we're starting over a little bit. Right? The bounce back culture is toxic. It's so toxic, especially in America. Recovery doesn't start postpartum. It starts right now. One of my favorite second trimester routines is making an adrenal cocktail. It's not fancy. It's not too crazy. It's literally just, and you've probably heard of it. If you are on social media, on TikTok, following pregnancy TikTok, mom talk, whatever, you have definitely heard of the adrenal cocktail. It's literally just orange juice, coconut water. I like to do a pinch of cream of tartar. And then you could do some Celtic sea salt. It's full of electrolytes, okay? It supports your adrenals. It gives steady energy instead of crashes, like a coffee would. And I actually like to sip on one in the afternoon when that slump hits. I feel like maybe I drank enough water that day and I feel a little bit dehydrated. That's what I like to go for. It feels like a reset for my body. So definitely get started on adrenal cocktail. We've been told that we need to fear salt in pregnancy, right? That we should avoid salty foods and this, that, and that. But minerals and electrolytes from salt actually help. Celtic sea salt in particular, they actually help to prevent complications like preeclampsia. And the advice that we're given is often the opposite of what our bodies need. So if you've been feeling wiped out in pregnancy, before you grab another coffee, try this. It's literally just orange juice, coconut water, and a pinch of sea salt. The adrenal cocktail, one of my favorite mom hacks for steady energy in the afternoon. Now, let's talk about protein. Getting enough protein in pregnancy can be tough, but it's key for your energy, your hormone balance, and recovery later on. Remember, we're thinking about doing everything with the end in mind. And I have been loving First Form's Formula 1 protein. It is a fast digesting protein. It's amazing and it doesn't sit heavy. I like to throw it in a smoothie with fruit and collagen or literally just in a shaker bottle with milk. Sometimes I'll do oat milk or almond milk. Most of the time it tastes better for me with oat milk. It is the easiest way for you to stay consistent. I like to call it mom fuel, especially when I'm at work. Pregnancy isn't a disability. God designed your body to move, to grow stronger, to prepare for birth. Okay? Movement isn't dangerous. It's sacred. So get moving. Get your protein in. Protein is the most underrated pregnancy hacks. More protein for you is going to mean steadier energy, easier recovery, and less stress on your body. So what is one food or drink that's been your go-to during pregnancy? Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. And if you haven't grabbed it yet, don't forget to download my free 7-day meal plan for busy mom. It is full of your simple, family-friendly meal ideas that will help you to feel energized without spending hours in the kitchen, right? We're already juggling so much. We don't want to be now spending extra hours in the kitchen meal prepping for hours and hours and hours. We want to spend less time in the kitchen so that we have more time to do other things that we like to do. Unless you are somebody who loves to be in the kitchen, by all means, go off. But if you want this meal plan, you could definitely grab it for free via the link in the description box. And if you enjoy episodes like this and you find them valuable, it would mean the world to me if you would like, rate, review, and share the Holistic Mom Life podcast wherever you watch or listen. My name is Jessica Tiskey, your Fit Mom Coach.